An interview with New York City punk artist Joe Cahill.
Fantasia isn't, no it isn't, no it really isn't.
You ever try and swim but not be in water?
Oh yeah. In fact, when I the first time I performed the song "I'm in Too Deep," that was the move that I used on stage. I sort of mimed swimming, like I was under the water trying to get up to the surface, and yeah, I had to stand up to show that.
Sure.
It was like during the bridge of "I'm in Too Deep," I was going like this, like trying to get up to the surface, like I'm down, and then just.
So to me, it's like multimedia. When you know, some people might just groove along and dance, but you're actually thinking, what are the lyrics and how can I dance in a fashion that relates to the song?
Oh, exactly.
I see. I want you to tell the story of your unfortunate accident and how, A, what happened, and B, how it inspired the song.
Oh, well, I was on my way to a voice lesson on October 2007, on October 24th. I'd been living in Barnegat for almost 2 months, and I'm on my way to catch the bus to New York. I'm crossing Barnegat Boulevard, and I got hit by a car, and my right shoulder was dislocated, and my right knee had to be reset. They couldn't admit me at Southern Ocean County Hospital, so I was put in an ambulance and sent to Atlantic City Trauma. That's where the surgery was. And then I had rehab at a nursing home in Manahawkin. But during the period, I had I was given morphine for the pain. And after I came home in December, I started writing Brother Morphine. And it was sort of a skewed take on the whole experience of prescription medication.
Yeah, so can you, I'm trying to think, what would be the best way for you to dig into, you know, how you began to write Brother Morphine? Was it after you were off morphine, or?
Oh, sure.
Did you go through any withdrawal?
No, because I stopped getting the morphine injections in October, but I had a morphine pain patch, and I took that off before I left in December, and I got off the other pain medications. I weaned myself off of them.
Right.
And so by the time I got home in December, I didn't have much withdrawal. I might have had like a little bit of a quiver the first week I came home, but other than that, there was very little.
Do you have any pets? Do you have any left
No.
over?
What's your personal take on image? And do you think about it? Is it something that you consider as important as your music?
Well, I think music predominates image. I know in the past, a lot of recording artists were stereotyped and pigeonholed, and they had people telling them, oh, you can't do that, you can't record that song, it's not your image. Whereas I think image serves the music, and it's not music serving the image. When I first started singing rock songs, I really didn't have any kind of image. It was all about the sound. And then as I went along, I just started creating a visual persona that conformed with what I was recording at the time.
When did you start recording?
Yeah, a long time ago. I recorded a classical demo in 1993, and then I recorded a classical CD 6 years later, and then I did a sort of Broadway opera cabaret CD in 2001, and I finally decided to switch over to rock and roll and just kind of started writing my own songs, not on the spur of the moment, but sort of by accident. I hadn't planned on doing it, and it was just something that happened for me. And so the first rock CD was 2004, Lost Weekends. And since then, just been rocking.
What are your records since then, as far as the album titles?
Kaleidoscope in 2005, that has the song Fantasia, and Framed, that has the song I'm in Too Deep. That song is done pretty well over in England, and so has Black Coffee and Cigarettes. And then in 2007...
One of my favorites.
Oh yeah, you like that one, yeah.
I sure do.
Black coffee and cigarettes. A lot of people like that one. Black coffee and cigarettes, drown your sorrows and your past regrets. In the 60s, you had punk with R&B in it. And then in the 80s, rock was more, they took the blue notes out of it and they took the blue chords out and just put these straight, hard, major, minor chords. I mean, growing up in the 80s, what I remember was there were a few white kids who only listened to rock and roll, and there were a few black kids who only listened to R&B, and their music had no sense of fusion to it. It was all just one or just the other, and you didn't combine the two anymore. And I thought, well, why don't we go back to that? So part of it was influenced by music that I grew up listening to, and I had many other influences. I listened to rock, I listened to R&B, and so I just tried to, and I trained as a classical singer, so I just tried to put everything together.
Right.
So it's definitely influenced by what I listen to, and it's definitely influenced by breaking down barriers. And I think maybe we shouldn't label music because everyone has a conflicting idea of what that label is. I mean, for instance, I call my music punk, and there are a lot of New York punk artists who wouldn't put me in that category because of all the other genres that are floating around within my sound.
Right.
But I still do it because that's the root of where my music is coming from. It's kind of like where the blood and guts and all that is flowing forth. It kind of stirs me up as a songwriter, and I mix all the other styles in. And I see a lot of people around the country and around the world in indie music who are doing the same thing. So it motivates me.
But getting back to Back in Blue, you know one of my favorite songs is Baby Don't Leave Me.
Oh yeah.
So other than the literal translation of that, maybe you could talk about the rest of the tune and what it means to you, what made you write it?
Well, it's actually the talk-sing pattern was inspired by a Velvet Underground song, There She Goes Again, from the first CD,
Sure.
the Velvet Underground and Nico, produced by Andy Warhol. There's this one that Lou Reed and the gang do. There she goes again, and the backup sing, there she goes, and he kind of talks it. And I thought, I want to do something like that in layers. And I thought of Baby Don't Leave Me. And I wanted it to have a similar feel to one of my earlier songs. It would be like a punked up version of my song from Lost Weekends, Sometimes. That song, Sometimes I Think, sometimes I think I've been loving you too long.
Right.
Well, that was all sung, but this has a sing-talk feel, but it's in the G major, and it goes G major to F major, and so does Baby Don't Leave Me, and it's got that rhythm in there too.
Right.
So it was really me drawing from my past material and putting it in more of a punk perspective. Because I love you, yes, I love you, oh yeah, Of course I can't do all the other harmonies in there either, but they're there.
Where can we see you, listen to you, and buy your music?
Well, you can see me on my website, www.joecahillmusic.com, and you click on Buy, and it'll take you to CD Baby, where my CDs are available.
So your music is you can also download it from iTunes?
Oh yes, I've got several songs on iTunes. I'm in Too Deep from the Frame CD that has been a popular download in iTunes UK, and I feel really good about that. So all over the country, and in Europe and in England too, people are downloading me from iTunes.
For more information about Joe and Joe's music, check out joecahillmusic.com.